So by far the most popular question I get asked, especially when people learn that I'm an investor and that I'm in this world, is Lucas, where should I invest my money, or what is the best investment? And I think they're shocked when they're expecting me to say crypto or DeFi or Bitcoin. And I think they're a little bit shocked when I tell them that there is no best investment. It's so dependent on the individual. And I will be first to say that crypto, DeFi, Bitcoin, ETH, Sol, whatever asset you're investing in, it's not the best investment. It just depends on your criteria and your plan. So based on my criteria, my investment strategy, how I invest, my lifestyle, and how I'm looking to build my life, crypto and DeFi by far are the best investments for me in my eyes and for my strategy. But it's not for everyone. I'm going to share a really quick story that I think will explain this really, really well. I know someone who really knew cars, really knew vehicles, and about 8 years ago, he started investing in some vehicles that he thought were going to appreciate based upon kind of where the markets are going, based upon he looks at like cars that were popular and that everyone wanted when they were 18. Now that they're 40 or 50 and they can afford those cars are going to go way up in value. Anyway, they bought a bunch of vehicles for between $80,000 to $150,000. Some of those vehicles are worth in the millions now. So he made tens of millions of dollars investing in vehicles. If you ask him what is the best investment, he'll probably say vehicles because he knows them well. And when someone asks me, should I invest in crypto, DeFi? Is it the best investment? I'm just like, are you willing to have an interest in it, to learn it, to understand the blockchain, the tech, where the industry is going? Because that'll make you a good investor. If you're just looking to like park dollars somewhere and pray and hope, you're gonna be taken for a ride. And that's I think what most people are doing, and then they're selling when there's market volatility because they don't even understand what they're investing in, which is why I'm so huge on the education. I get so passionate about this. Why am I so excited for channels like YouTube channels existing where you can actually dive into the world, but you've got to have an interest in it. If you're just listening to what everyone else is saying, you're going to get shaken out. And just like the guy who made tens of millions of dollars investing in vehicles, he knew the industry had an interest in it. And because of his interest, he could see where the market was going and place a bet on it. And when I look at crypto and DeFi, I'm all in on it because I know where it's going. I've done hundreds of hours of research. We've built a team that also does hundreds of hours of research, and we've worked with over 1,600 members and clients that have all done tens, if not hundreds of hours of research. So call it thousands of hours of research, conversations. I'm as certain as I can possibly be based on my research that crypto and DeFi is going to be bigger in 10 years than it is now. You can let me know if you agree or disagree. I have conviction in it so I don't get shaken out when the markets get effed up, when there's manipulation or there's, news of tariffs come out and things crash by 15-20%. I don't care. I've got a long-term play. I also create cash flow with DeFi, and pound for pound, adjusted for risk and how much effort it actually takes, I haven't found a better returning asset class. Now, if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't have an interest in it, if you're not willing to get educated on it, if you're willy-nilly about it and you're praying and hoping, then I would say crypto and DeFi probably isn't the best investment. There's real estate and there's pros and cons to everything. Cap rates aren't what they used to. Most people actually aren't positive cash flow on the real estate no matter how you work the deal. And it's more of like a net worth, tenants paying down your mortgage, and in 10 or 15 years, your net worth will be higher than it is now, plus 4, 5, 6% a year appreciation on your real estate. It's much less cash flow these days. And for some people, that's a really good strategy. For others, they're like, well, I don't want to do that because I won't be financially free for 25 years and I don't like what I do and I just don't want this kind of lifestyles. Well, then real estate's not the best investment for you. Or other people love stocks and love picking individual stocks. I hate it. And so I don't do it. I do index funds. But again, to me, it's not a wealth generator. It's almost like a retirement fund in case I F up my life bad enough. I got a couple $1,000,000 stashed away that can return some form of returns. But to me, it's not the best investment based upon my strategy. Now, get what I said there. I don't have a huge interest in the stock market. So if I do invest in the stock market, which I do, it's going to be index funds and I'm just going to buy a piece of everything. So I get lower returns for that. Whereas if someone else loves analyzing companies and just loves trading stocks and buying stocks and reading all the latest updates and just looking at P&Ls and just looking at actual companies and financials, they can do really, really well. They put a little bit more sweat equity, they put a little more time in, they get better returns, but I don't have an interest in that. So I just buy a piece of everything and I enjoy 6 to 8% a year on average returns, and I'm fine with that as like a long-term play. My main focus is in the world of crypto DeFi, both from a business side of things, both from an actual investment side of things. 90% of my portfolio is in crypto DeFi. Almost all of my net worth in some way, shape, or form revolves around crypto DeFi. I do really well in it, but I wake up thinking about it. I go to bed thinking about it. And so to me, it's the best investment, but to you, it may not be. Is this making sense? Please let me know in the comments. And the final question that I'll ask investors who are investing in, let's just say, crypto DeFi is, do you see this space being bigger in 5 to 10 years than it is now? And the conviction you have and the research you've done and the answer to that question tells me a lot about whether you'll be successful in it or not. If the answer is no or I'm not sure, I wouldn't invest significant amounts in crypto and DeFi because you're going to get shaken out. I would do more research on the space and see as you dive in deeper if you build more conviction in where Web3 and where this space is going. If you do have conviction, then still do more research to make sure that you fully understand what you're investing in, and you'll probably do really, really well in this space. Everyone I know who's been investing in crypto DeFi, who has a passion for the space, does well because they're thinking long term. They see the future of it. I've had times where my portfolio was down 40%. We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars, and like I slept just well at night. I know every asset I'm in, I know what they're building, I'm interested in it, and I know there's a future. The last bear market, I was investing heavily when no one else was. I had conviction, and maybe you were too because you had conviction. If you didn't do your research and you knew nothing about crypto DeFi, then you probably weren't investing because you were terrified. So again, what is the best investment? Is it crypto, stocks, real estate? It really depends on the individual investor and how much actual interest you have in it, how much education you have around it. Again, it's why we're so big on the education, is the more you understand it, the more confident you get because you actually know what you're doing. When we have clients join us and they've got, a significant amount of capital, I'm always like, you're investing just a small percentage of that because you don't know what you're doing yet. If you invest all of it and something funky happens in a week, you may make some really stupid decisions. Let's invest a small piece and let's really start mastering this stuff. And by the way, a couple months, if you actually take crypto DeFi seriously, in a couple months, you can know more than most people even making YouTube videos about it now. You can understand it on a deep fundamental level. When I first got into crypto DeFi, before I started heavily investing, I probably read 6 or 7 books. I have a post on my Instagram stories at Rubixinator. I'll put it up here so you can see a photo of it. But I just dove into Web3 books, different courses, different masterminds, anything I could do to actually learn what's the future of this, and am I willing to place a significant amount of my capital, of my net worth, and ultimately take a educated bet on this. And it paid out really, really well for me. But you've got to get obsessed with what you're investing in. If you don't, and you want to be super hands-off, then again, index funds, or just buy a piece of everything, or just dollar cost average into Bitcoin every month and just forget about it. I think that's what I got. I really hope some of that, I could keep going for like an hour, but I hope the central message of this lands. If it did, let me know in the comments what landed. Like, subscribe. The Underdog Investor Group is going through a lot of upgrades right now. Really excited for you to experience it. If you're in the UIG, then you've probably heard us talking about a lot of the upgrades. If you're not, you're probably going to hear about it here on this YouTube channel. And with that said, again, in the comments, let me know if anything landed. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.